Hi guys, welcome in, welcome back. I don't know where the camera is. It's on the other side. I always have these problems. Welcome in and welcome back. I am Lisa and this is North Star Energy Healing. And today, as you know, if you clicked on this video, this is another video about books that have helped me on my journey, books that I think may be helpful to you as well. And if you didn't watch my last one, I said that my bachelor's degree is in information and library services. So books are a big part of my life and they have been since I was a kid. Like I can remember books that I read in the fourth grade. And in the fourth grade, I read 98 books for outside reading. So not assigned books, but books that I read for pleasure. And I got an award for that. And I'm still proud of it, even though it happened when I was in fourth grade. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I wanted to talk about a couple of books today, like I said, that might be able to help you. I picked 4 that I'll talk about this time. And, if I didn't say it, today's Tuesday, April 16th. So the first book that I want to talk about is Animal Spirit Guides. I'm sorry it's backwards, but I can't film myself if I can't see myself. And so I apologize. So Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen Farmer. So I use this all the time, and I do talk about it sometimes when I pull animal cards or if I talk about seeing 3 of something. So this book would be, it's an easy to use handbook for identifying and understanding your power animals and animal spirit helpers. Okay, so let's just see. I have raccoon marked in here, and I've made some notes in here, so something must have happened with a raccoon at some point. There are other ones in here that I have marked that I have written notes on. I don't remember specifically what they are, but there are so many different animals in here. So what the book does is it will give you like an overview. If a condor shows up, it means the following. And then it will say, if it's a California condor, it means something else. If it's a turkey vulture, it means something different. Call on the condor when. So it tells you, when to call on these specific animals. So, I mean, you could just look at that in this book and figure out what animal you need to call on when. But I typically use it if some particular animal has popped up in my purview 3 times is usually the thing. And I think I've talked about this before. If you always see dogs in your neighborhood and you see 3 dogs, it's not like, oh, I saw 3 dogs. But let's say you saw 3 huskies. Well, that might be significant. So then you would want to look up the meaning of huskies. And I don't know if that breed is in there or, I don't have everything memorized that's in here. But it's like that. You have to use your gut intuition and your discernment. Like, was this something significant or extraordinary, I guess I would say. Like, I'm trying to think of another example. If you look out your window and you see robins in your yard all the time, but one particular day you look out and see a robin and you go about your business, you look out, you see a robin. If it happens 3 times, that's probably significant, so you want to look that up. Things like that. And so I highly recommend this, Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen D. Farmer. It has helped me many, many times. And typically when something happens significantly like that and I look it up, oh my gosh, it's spot on. It's exactly either what's happening in my life at that time, or it's something that I've been feeling or thinking about. It's just the animals around us, as my guide Justin and Landau, my hawk, are always telling us the animals are really significant, right? In our lives, in our human lives. They're such a big part of our human lives. So I do have another one that's more of an animal totem book, and it's like a workbook so you can figure out who your who's on your animal totem. That's more of a Native American one, not one that you would look something up in, but it's kind of like a workbook. If you're interested in that, let me grab it. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. So I got up to get the book and then I kicked the tripod and everything. That's just, those are the things that happen to me. So the Native American one is called Animal Speak. So this is this one. The Spiritual and Magical Powers of Creatures Great and Small by Ted Andrews. Includes a comprehensive dictionary of animal, bird, and reptile symbolism. So you can look it up, but each animal has a long, couple pages with it. So I just happen to like the Stephen Farmer one because it's easier, because it breaks it up into what you need to know. But this is also a great book, and I have used this, and I did do some of the work in here. I don't know if my notes are still in here about my animal totem, and it was really interesting. Yeah, I have some stuff circled about deer, and it asks you questions about what feelings come up with this certain animal or whatever. Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff underlined in crows, because when my husband and I first started dating, we kept seeing crows all the time, everywhere, or I'd find a crow feather, which is uncommon to just find a crow feather. So there's some stuff in there about that. So both books are really great if you're interested in, animal spirit guides and things like that. And then you have heard me, I think, talk about Pam Gregory. She's an astrologer and has been for over 30, or it could be even over 40 years. I have been watching her channel for a long time because astrology is something I struggle with. I don't readily understand it. I'd like to understand more about it, how the planets affect me, and things like that. And I have my birth chart, and I have tried to look at that, and I have tried to understand it. It's just not something that comes easily to me, like I said. So I got her book, You Don't Really Believe in Astrology, Do You? So this is Pam Gregory's book, and it's really not for non-believers. I don't know why she called it that. It must have just been, it says how astrology can reveal profound patterns in your life. And wowee, oh my gosh. So in this book, I also have a whole bunch of things highlighted. This chapter is Your Unique Sheet of Music. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken, which is a quote by Oscar Wilde. I'm trying to see if there's anything. I highlighted so many things. It talks about the planet's placements. Like when we say your rising sign, that's your ascendant sign. It all has to do with the planet's placements. So I read this book, and then I loaned it to my one of my sisters, and so it tells you about the houses. So those 12 houses that we have, and the properties for each house. So when you're listening to a reader and they're saying, well, we all have a ninth house or whatever, or they're talking about it's confusing, this book is very helpful for understanding that. It talks about the properties of each planet. I mean, it was just, she also goes into the history. She talks about a lot of things like wars, where the planets were aligned. Let's say like when Hitler was around, when the 2008 stock market crash happened, and the one before that was 1929, I think, or something like that. So she talks about a lot of that. And this book is not huge. This would be a really good investment if you're interested in astrology and how this chapter, the macrocosm and microcosm. So this was talking about the aspect of the planets in, let's see, this particular aspect is a 90-degree aspect, a square between Uranus and Pluto in their orbits, which began in June of 2012 and will continue until March of 2015. This is a rare aspect. We will not have an identical aspect for another 127 years. So then what I did was I looked back, okay, what was I doing between June in 2012 and March in 2015? And I wrote some notes here about what my life was doing at that time. You guys, this book is fascinating. I highly recommend it. You Don't Believe in Astrology, Do You? By Pam Gregory. Okay. And then I bought another one of her books because I enjoyed that one so much. How to Co-Create Using the Secret Language of the Universe, Using Astrology for Your Empowerment. Now you can see I have a bunch of things marked in this book. When I just now picked it up, all of these cards fell out. So these were notes that I was doing for myself as I was reading through this book, I also have a bunch of things highlighted, excuse me. Understanding Your Unique Blueprint, chapter 4. And you can see I have some things highlighted there. How do we create our reality? Again, it's not a super thick book. I highly recommend it for anybody who is interested in this. Obviously, not everybody cares about this stuff. But if you do, then, you know, I'm trying to see what this is. Creating your future self. Really important. So some of the things I'll share with you because I love my viewers. I love my subscribers. And what do I really have to lose by talking about my own experiences? Hopefully they help you. But so I was born on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn, December 21st. So I'm Jupiter because Sagittarius is my sun sign. So Jupiter is about expansion. And my note to myself was, I need to open up to the universe. Now, this book I read about 18 months ago, I want to say. So that was before I had this channel or allowed myself to do this. Jupiter is about self-improvement. I need to do this with my learning to bring it to the collective. So I was already on my way or thinking about doing this. I don't remember doing these notes. So looking back at them right now is funny to me, kind of. My North Node is in Leo, and Leo is also my rising sign. I have a lot of fire in my chart. So I'm a Sagittarius sun sign, Leo rising, and then I'm a Scorpio, moon and Venus, which is water. But all of those three signs are very passionate, very outgoing, Scorpios can be mysterious, but when it comes to passion, they're very outgoing. So North Node in Leo is courage. I need this to break out into my best life, right? Friendship, one of the most important things to me. Okay, North Node in the 12th house. I dream. I need to learn to be alone, to meditate, and to connect. I talk about this a lot. So you see, I've still been a work in progress, and I'm trying to help other people to get this before I did, get this at a younger age. I have Aquarius as my South Node. So your North and South nodes are always exactly opposite each other. I think if you have Cancer as one, you would have Capricorn as the other. But Aquarius has been a difficult sign for me in my past because of the people that I have had relationships with or dealt with that are Aquarian. So I wrote a bunch of notes, but I'm not gonna, it seems like my soul knows I should not focus on the negatives about Aquarius. Yeah, okay. So my moon being in Scorpio. So what the book helps you see is how did this affect your life, right? So my moon in Scorpio in the 4th house, my parents. I had an absent biological father. I only saw him once a year after the age of 5. And I had a mom that wasn't super emotional or forthcoming with love and hugs and things like that. And this is kind of predicted where Scorpio fell in that 4th house and the type of sign that it is. I hope this is interesting to you guys. And then moon in Scorpio 4th house, difficult childhood, how I never felt safe, right? My goal was for my 2 kids to never feel the way I felt when I was a kid. And hopefully I accomplished that. Okay, and then I have a card that says fire, fire, fire. Because of the Leo and the Sagittarius. And then I have a note here that says, I can fly, but I don't dare to jump. Obviously, I got there, right? I got there. And then I have thoughts on being born on the cusp. And these thoughts came out of looking at these books by Pam Gregory and kind of studying them a little bit. I feel that the Capricorn side is what confuses the Sagittarius side. So Capricorn being earth, grounded, material, Sagittarius being adventurous and wanting new things all the time. That's like butting heads. That's like 2 completely different things. And that's what I was saying. Capricorn, limitation, Sagittarius, adventure. Capricorn, blockage, Sagittarius, expansion. Capricorn, serious, Sagittarius, jovial. Right? So I just, I wanted to share a few of those things with you, that this is not hard. It's not hard. It's not like homework. It didn't feel drudgery to me. It felt exciting. And the things that I learned about myself and my path and my blueprint were extremely helpful to me. I loved it. So those books, the animal books, I highly recommend. Pam Gregory's books. I think she may have another one, but those are the two that I got. And then this is a book that really changed the way that I saw things, the way that I saw death, the way that I saw our relationships in life. I'm trying to see, I don't know when I read it. I think it was, copyright 2003. So I don't know when I read it. I feel like I read it somewhere between 2003 and 2010. But it's Mitch Albaum's The 5 People You Meet in Heaven. If you have not read this, I'm getting chills just recommending it to you. This book is so, I don't know. It's really profound. Really profound, because it talks about when you meet somebody, you go to heaven and you meet these other people and you have conversations with them. There's also another book, but I can't remember. This person also wrote Tuesdays with Maury, which was a fantastic book as well. But I don't remember a whole lot of it. For One More Day was another one that he, I just opened up to a chapter, and the beginning of the chapter says, all parents damage their children. It cannot be helped. Youth, like pristine glass, absorbs the prints of its handlers. Some parents smudge, others crack, a few shatter childhoods completely into jagged little pieces beyond repair. And then it talks, whoever this Eddie person is, the damage done by Eddie's father was at the beginning the damage of neglect. So then it talks about that. But it is uplifting. I just, so anyway, I recommend this book because it makes you really think about the relationships that you're having on Earth in this physical life, and is there anything you would like to do or want to do to change those before you cross over? So that's one of the reasons why this is one that I, highly recommend. So I hope that you have enjoyed this book recommendation video. I will bring them to you as my guides tell me to. So my guides are the ones that said, do the Pam Gregory books. And then I picked some of the other ones. So guides were the ones that wanted me to bring those Pam Gregory books to the forefront for you. So please leave me a comment, give it a thumbs up so it can make its way around the YouTube algorithm. I so appreciate each and every one of you. I thank you so much for tuning in, for giving me the time of day, for listening to me ramble sometimes, and for just for being there. And I'm here for you, okay? Peace and kindness every single day. I do love you all.